Also, I just want to get your take, Congressman, on the revelation over the weekend that the Energy Department says most likely COVID-19 came from a Chinese lab. So the cover in the New York Post, it's the lead story. And, of course, there's other people unnamed that say they don't put much credence in it. But now the FBI has joined the Energy Department. The Energy Department has joined the FBI in saying it came from a lab. When are you guys tackling COVID-19, and what's your reaction to the Energy's conclusion?
Well, it's about time. And if there would have been a legitimate science allowed to be able to work, if doctors would not have, eminent doctors, Brian, who I suspect you've interviewed, would not have had their information squelched by the federal government, I mean, this would never have happened. It is about time that this gets out there. I'm not sure what our leadership in the House has planned for this. I suspect they do. I just don't know what it is. But this is one of the key issues. In addition to the weaponization of our intelligence agencies, especially the FBI, that and COVID, I think, are two of the absolute most critical issues that we need to inform the American people about what has gone wrong. Because this goes back to the fundamentals, doesn't it, Brian? I mean, the First Amendment, being able to have open, honest science, it all went out the door over the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that. So just so you know what you're up against, if you want to do an honest investigation, you would think it works in everyone's interest to enforce the border, number one. Number two, to identify China as the number one military and economic antagonist of ours. Our number one, not rival, and I dare I say enemy. You should be unifying. And then the all-out push to find out where COVID-19 started. Listen to Jake Sullivan on these revelations. Cut 17.
There is a variety of views in the intelligence community. Some elements of the intelligence community have reached conclusions on one side, some on the other. A number of them have said they just don't have enough information to be sure. And if we gain any further insider information, we will share it with Congress.
See, did you hear his delivery? You hear his lack of interest. He wants a different topic. He wants to parry this conversation. Why is it not in our interest to get to the bottom of that?
Brian, listen to the one term that he used there. Some elements. So those of us that have been skeptical, and I think about our senator from Wisconsin, Senator Johnson, who did yeoman's work over the last 3 years, exposing what is going on, and Jake Sullivan refers to those of us that were skeptical as elements. You can see how they're trying to they're trying to say we just have to move on here. We cannot move on, Brian. There needs to be an honest appraisal of what has happened here with COVID.
Congressman, what's your next step with the border?
Next step with the border, we have a series of bills that are teed up here that we're working our way through. It's part of the reason that we did the hearing down in Yuma. We want to make sure these are good bills for securing the border, and I believe Chairman Jordan is going to be working through this process over the next few weeks. I hope, and this is just me speaking, no one else on the committee, I would hope over the next couple months that we can get a series of bills teed up to secure the border and get the 218 votes. It's going to be a heavy lift, but I'm hoping we can get to 218, get them out of the House. And I think that really becomes strong messaging to the American people that House Republicans are serious about securing the border, dealing with perhaps the most important issue that's before us here in the early part of the 21st century.
It just seems there are difficult things. I always bring this up. Stem cell research, great, smart people debating it back and forth. This is not a hard issue. This is such an easy issue. And, you know, how to do what used to be the biggest debate. You know, do we pressure the Central and South American countries? What are we doing with the places from horrible places like Venezuela and Cuba? You know, and now we're dealing with an administration that just wants it to go away, but it's only getting worse. I don't envy you, but I hope you're able to make some progress. Congressman Tom Tiffany, thank you.